Welcome to MusiCity Kids. We are here to help you grow strong in mind, body, and heart. My name is Tamara, and today we'll be talking about do something new. Do you ever feel like you get stuck in a rut, doing the same things over and over and over again? Well, summer is a great time to try new things. Can you tell what new things I've tried today? Think about that. I'll reveal that later. But we are so glad you're here. We're going to have lots of fun. And first up is Dr. JPOP. Get ready to get moving.
Today we're going to talk about body coordination. Body coordination is when you learn how to use all of the parts of your body to complete an activity. So you first start learning coordination when you're crawling, and then when you're walking. And then the better you get, you learn how to coordinate your body to run and jump and climb and do all sorts of other things. Those are called higher level coordination activities. But sometimes when you grow and your body gets a little bit taller, maybe even a little bit wider, it's a little harder to be coordinated. So you see people start to trip and run into things, and it's just because they're learning their new body. So today, we are going to learn some body coordination activities that you can do at home, okay? Ready? The first one you're gonna do, you're gonna put your hands out by your side and you're gonna touch your finger to your nose, and then you're gonna switch to the other side, okay? We're gonna do 5 in a row. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very good, all right? Now we're gonna add to it. And every time we add to it, we're gonna go back to the beginning and do all the moves together. The next one, you're gonna touch your hand to your opposite knee and then switch to the other side. So let's go. We're gonna do 5 of them. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's put the 2 together. Arms out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Very good. So the next one you're gonna do, you're gonna actually try to touch your foot with your hand behind your back. It's gonna look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You guessed it. We're gonna put them all together. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Last one. We're gonna do jumping jacks. You ready? 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's put it all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Very good job. So, all of those are exercises that help you work on your coordination. And if you want to make it harder, you can put a timer up for 1 minute and see how many you can do in 1 minute. Okay? Have fun with it. Back to you, Tamara.
Thanks, Dr. JPOP. What a great reminder that our bodies are constantly becoming new as we grow. So we've got to figure out how to move our new bodies. I love that. Next up, we're going to learn about a new animal, the western leopard toad, with our friends at Oceans Aquarium.
Hi everybody, my name is Aizen. I'm one of the animal keepers at the Oceans Aquarium. With me today, I've got Todd. Todd is one of our rescued western leopard toads that lives here with us at the aquarium. And being a western leopard toad, he's quite a unique species. First of all, they're only found here in the Cape Peninsula area. And what this means is we call them an endemic species. It means they're basically found here in Cape Town and nowhere else in the world. So we're very lucky to get to live around these beautiful little guys. Now, although Todd's coloration is quite dark, you might be able to see a few of his patterning on his back. And this is partially where they get their name from, as a western leopard toad, because they have those beautiful markings on their back. Now, these guys naturally live in wetland areas. Although they don't need to be directly near a water source to live, they do return there to breed. And unfortunately, as a result of habitat destruction and us constructing things like our houses and developments, we put a lot of pressure on these little guys to survive out in the wild. First of all, we've taken away a lot of their wetland areas. We built roads that divide their wetland areas from one another. And as a result, when they move around from one wetland or one area to another, they often get hit by cars and are exposed to other things like predators. So what can you do to help these little guys? Well, first of all, if you find a little toad or a little frog on the road, ask your mom and dad to stop the car, get out, make sure it's safe, and pick the little guy up and put him on the side of the road. Although it might seem silly because that's just only one, that's one little difference that you've made for these guys in their species. And the reasons that this is so important is because these guys are listed as an endangered species. It means that their numbers out in the wild are very, very low. And if we don't work to conserve and protect them, they will go extinct, which means they'll vanish from our planet altogether. Now, when you first saw Todd, you might have thought that he looks quite a bit like a frog. And I wouldn't blame you. They are part of our amphibian family. So your toads, your frogs, and your salamanders all form part of that group. But there are some key differences I'd like to tell you about our toads and our frogs. First of all, you'll notice Todd does have quite a rough and dry skin. You might be able to see. Can you see it's not really slimy? Whereas your frogs, they've got wet and slimy skin. Another quite unique trait that they have is their build on the back of their leg over there. You'll notice that Todd has quite short, stumpy legs. And that's because your toads, they actually crawl around to move. They don't hop like frogs do. Another key component is if you look at their feet, you'll notice that Todd has these really cool little toes. And they aren't webbed, whereas most of your frog species have webbed feet. You might have also noticed that I'm wearing these cool blue gloves. And that's because all of your frog species, all of your amphibian species, your frogs, your toads, they actually breathe through their skin. That's one way they breathe. So for us, when we handle amphibians here at Aquarium, we always wear gloves to make sure that we don't put them in any danger. Can you imagine somebody trying to touch your lungs? It's basically the same thing when we touch their skin. So keep your garden clean, provide little hideouts, and you never know, one of these guys might be your neighbor pretty soon.
Thanks, Ayrton. That was awesome. I wonder what kinds of creatures you can find outside today. Maybe you can learn something new about the ones in your area. Next is Janet of Janet's Planet with something new that she tried. Get ready.
What's your name?
Janet.
Janet, what are we doing?
We are jumping out of a plane. I'm going skydiving and gonna jump out of a plane. Watch it. Watch gravity be in full effect today.
All right, well, everyone's loading up. The plane's waiting on us. Let's head on over. How does that sound?
Let's do it.
You got anything you want to say before we climb on in there?
No, it's like jump. Carpe diem. Seize the day. Let's get out of this plane.
Just ready to do it?
Ready to do it.
Well, if you look, it's real nice out today. Nice blue skies. Got an airplane waiting on us.
Temperature is good.
Who's this guy over here?
That's my best dude friend, John.
Yeah!
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Yeah. Those who make children's entertainment together should jump out of a plane together.
That's right. Well, let's climb on in there. Watch your head in that bar and wait for me, all right?
Okay. I'm excited. Welcome to Janet's Planet, where we are about to go skydiving. My first time ever, and we're definitely gaining altitude. We're going to get up to 14,000 feet. I'm going to get ready my goggles and jump. I'm ready. I'm very sure. Woohoo! lightness of being. Oh, wowza.
Awesome view here, right?
Beautiful view. It was like, wow. Gorgeous Tennessee day. You gotta get out, do what you want to do, experience, and just go for whatever your dream is. 'Cause I tell you, there's nothing like enjoying life to the fullest. And that's the view from Janet's planet.
Looking on the ground.
All right, so that looked really scary, right? But Janet tried something new, and I'll tell you a secret. I want to jump out of a plane someday. My oldest son and I have been talking about it for years, so just maybe one of these days we'll get to it. You know, trying new things can be scary, like we saw with Janet skydiving, but trying new things also helps us grow. Trying new things can also help us experience better things. For example, I did a new hairstyle today. Did you notice? One of the reasons I did that is because it's so hot here this summer, and I needed to keep the hair up and out of my face. It keeps me cool. That's an improvement, right? Or did you notice I tried a new outfit today? Usually I'm wearing my Love in a Big World shirt, but today I just thought I'd try something new, just for fun. So trying new things can be fun and help us grow. Trying new things can also keep us safe. So all of us are getting used to these things. Wearing our masks. It's part of the new normal. It's what we've got to do to keep ourselves and others safe. And we may not like it. It might even feel a bit scary because it's new and different, but it's for everybody's good. So think about that. And what can you try new today? Here's some more summer thoughts from Jalen and Donovan.
Hey guys, it's Jalen and Donovan. So what I really like this summer is that we live on a farm. Even though we've been quarantined, we found really cool things to do. One of those things is playing basketball. We also have a really cool fire pit, and we like to make fires. We also get to play music sometimes. Another thing we really like to do is play pickleball.
Hey guys, there's another thing we also like to do over summer. We like to play with our dog Stella. And that she's really fun to play with because she's so acrobatic. This isn't our garden, but it's still really pretty. Track to ride our bikes on.
We see some really cool animals out here on this property, like coyotes, snakes, rabbits, all kinds of birds, horses, dogs.
Bees make lots of honey.
And don't forget the hammock!
Woo! Yeah! Let's go!
Thanks for visiting our farm. Back to you, Tamara.
Thanks, Jalen and Donovan. They have a lot of great ideas for new things to try this summer. What about pickleball? Have you ever played that? I've heard about it, but I've never tried it, at least not yet. We have some new people that we want to introduce to you today who are going to teach us some new recipes.
Chef, tell us what's on the menu and what are you going to do to make it lean and clean?
All right, well, I'm from the South. I grew up here and I love living here. And one of my favorite things is fried chicken.
Right.
Like, everybody loves fried chicken.
Right.
But we don't need all the fat in our diet. So we're going to do pan roasted chicken.
Okay.
All right, we're going to use fresh herbs like garlic, thyme, a little bit of black pepper, and season it. We're going to roast it. And it's going to be delicious. I cut the chicken. I've got it into 4 pieces, so into quarters. Like I said, you can buy a whole one or just buy it already cut up. So I'm chopping some rosemary. I've already put a little bit of garlic on here. You can see it. And I just used a little hand grater and just kind of grated that in there like that.
So is there a specific reason why you choose fresh herbs instead of dried ones?
Well, fresh herbs have great flavor. They brighten up every dish and they really come through, unlike how dried herbs will ever do.
And so what else will we be cooking on this Soul Food Sunday?
So we've got the chicken with the fresh herbs. So we're going to put a little bit of the rosemary on there, and then we're going to do some roasted sweet potatoes, and I think we need to do some cornbread.
Cornbread, are you sure now?
Yeah.
I don't know any way that you can make cornbread thin because there's oil in it.
Well, we're going to start with using low-fat buttermilk.
Okay.
Right? Not a huge amount of oil, because a little bit of oil goes a long way, and no bacon fat. So.
Well, I like that because I think that because this is a special meal, that we shouldn't be deprived of everything. It's something that we're looking forward to. So I totally agree with the way you're doing that.
Well, I think that when we're looking at diet and health, you want to find flavor without going excessively in one way or the other. So we want to make sure we have our fresh herbs, a little bit of salt, the right amount, not too much, and get lots of flavor.
Chef and I continue to transform our Soul Food Sunday meal by braising collard greens. Instead of using smoked meat for flavoring, that we love so much here in the South, we used onions, garlic, and organic vegetable stock. Next, to cut calories but not give up flavor, we roasted sweet potatoes with no sugar or butter. Here's what we did.
You can see I've got some already cut up. We're going to finish cutting these up, and I just cut them in half, and then I cut them in half again so we have quarters. And the little thing about cutting sweet potatoes, they're so hard, don't cut them like that. Make sure you have the cut side down so it's a little bit easier and a little bit safer for you to work in the kitchen.
And I think the texture is going to be a little bit more interesting because you're leaving the peeling on it and not taking it off.
Yeah, you just
Will that add sweetness, or why did you choose to do that?
Well, you've got a lot of extra fiber that's in the sweet potato, and another layer of flavor that has like a nice earthiness for that extra potato-ness, you could say, right? So, and then they roast and they kind of slightly caramelize too, because caramelization is really one of the big flavor bases, like we talked about with the onions, and the same thing with the sweet potatoes.
Which is natural sugar again.
Natural sugar. So I'm going to need a little bit of oil so they don't stick.
Okay.
Once again, we're not frying. And then look, I'm using the salt that I can see exactly how much goes on there, and I don't need a lot. All right, a little bit of salt, a touch of oil. I like your method of measuring by the capful. Right, because you can really visualize how much you're using.
How much you're using, yeah.
Right, and that's 2 capfuls. That's maybe 2 teaspoons, right?
Yeah.
This is going to be enough for a group of people.
Okay.
Right. So then I've got some black pepper. Put on there, and if I don't have enough black pepper roasting, then at the end I'll just add a little bit to it. So we're going to pop these in the oven, and they'll finish at the same time with the chicken. And then, like you said, we're going to take some of that chicken broth and we're going to add it right to our greens.
Chef Michael kept his promise. We cooked with low salt, low fat, and no added sugar, but kept all the flavor in our healthy Soul Food Sunday meal. All of our ingredients were purchased right here in our community at Kroger, where you can purchase healthy food for affordable prices. Well, guys, I wish you were here to share this meal with me. It tastes so good.
Did you see that? Oh my goodness, I'm so hungry right now. I love those roasted sweet potatoes. And did you realize what Marilyn and Chef Michael did? They took a recipe that's really familiar here in the South, fried chicken, and they modified it. They made it new and healthier. You can try that too with recipes at home. I know lots of people are cooking and baking more than ever because we're still spending a great deal of time at home. So you can try that and have some fun in the kitchen with your family. Next, we've got Family Fit Mom. It's time to get up and get moving.
Hey Music City Kids, Family Fit Mom here, encouraging you to try something new this week. All this summer we've been trying new activities outside. We try a variety of them. Some of them I've loved, some of them not so much, but it's been fun to try. One thing we tried is soccer. Not that great at it, don't have a lot of power behind my kick or my bump, but it's all right. I tried it, and it was a lot of fun trying it out with my family, but not my favorite. We also tried a little bit of volleyball. I learned how to get that ball over the net, learned a lot of different skills there. It was actually a lot of fun. I also tried my hand at tennis. Do you think we've got the next US Open or Wimbledon champion here? I don't think so. Not for me, but it may be something that you are awesome at. You never know until you give it a try. Now guys, my fave. Who would have thought? Badminton. Who knew? I love badminton. I'm actually pretty good at it. I can make this little birdie sail so hard over that net. Actually win when I play badminton. So guys, don't test me and my badminton skills. I'm pretty good at it. So I think I'm gonna be the next badminton Olympic champ. Do they have badminton in the Olympics? I don't know, that's something for you to look into and see. But guys, I want you to try something new. You never know what you're missing until you try. It may be something that you end up loving, it may be something that you end up not liking that much, but you never know until you try. So grab something new that you haven't done before, check it out, try it out, see what you think. Talk to you next time.
I love those ideas. So many suggestions for getting outside and playing today. Awesome. Here's another idea for something you can do, especially in the heat of the day. Grab a book. Here's one, Wangari Maathai, the woman who planted millions of trees. You never heard of her? Well, now's the time. Find out about this Kenyan woman who challenged the government and ended up making a real difference by planting millions of trees in her area. We can find out new things by reading stories about people we never heard of before. That helps us grow too, in our mind. And you may get some new ideas. After you read Wangari's book, you might want to get out there and get gardening, like Jalen and Donovan were talking about earlier. Next, we've got Miss CJ. Let's see what she has to say.
Wow. Fort Nashville, huh? I cannot believe we're actually at the very first place when Nashville was created. I mean, that's amazing. Like all over the city, but this was the very first place that Nashville was actually settled. Huh. Imagine that. That's where I guess the word Nashville comes from. Out of Nashville. Ooh. Anyway, so in the last video, we were talking about colonies and pioneers. Take a look around. What does this kind of look like to you? Kind of looks like a pioneer settlement, right? Well, to be honest, this is what a lot of the homes look like when the early settlers first started settling here. That's right. Before they were states, they were known as the 13 colonies. That's right. The 13 colonies. Do you know what they are? Do you know what they are? Ah, okay. Well, we're going to group them up in 3 different groups. We got the New England colonies, which were way up north. So that has New York and Delaware and Maryland and Rhode Island and all of those. Then you got your middle colonies. Now, in the middle colonies, so many different people from so many different backgrounds came. And when I mean different backgrounds, I mean Dutch, I mean German, I mean French, ooh la la, and I mean Spanish. So many different people came over here to the colonies to settle in the middle colonies. So you had places like, oh, I don't know, West Virginia, and let's see, what else did we have? Ohio? No, we didn't have Ohio. I'm just joking. I'm just trying to see if you were on your toes. Then we had the southern colonies. Now the southern colonies, it was hot down there. And technically, you would think that Tennessee would be a southern colony, but actually, we came out of one of the colonies. Can you guess what colony we came out of? I'll give you a hint. It's 2 states. That's right, North Carolina and South Carolina. So North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, these were your southern colonies. And a lot of people traveled from England, all the way from England, just to escape religious persecution. And I want you to look that word up. Persecution. What does that mean? Well, persecution means you can't do it. That's right. Even if you wanted to pray to something, King George said you can't do it. So that's why they traveled. They traveled over here for religious freedom, to make an honest living, and to make money. That's right. Can you believe that? They traveled all the way from England all the way to here. And they created their own colonies. But something was happening in those colonies. A lot of the colonists were not very happy. I wonder why. I don't know. But in the next video, we're going to talk about why the colonists were not very happy. But I want to know if you know this word. What does colony mean? Does it mean just a whole bunch of people getting together having a good time? Does it mean people traveling and settling in an unknown land and they're ruled by someone else in another land? Or does colony mean, hey, there are a bunch of ants down there? That type of colony. You tell me at the bottom of this video, what do you think colony means? And if you had a colony, what type of colony would you have settled? Until next time, it's your favorite teacher, Miss CJ, with Love in a Big World. I'll see you then. Mwah.
Thanks, Miss CJ. You know what I realized when she was giving us that history lesson? I realized that history is the story of people doing new things, just in a different time. So I'm wondering, what can you do now that will make the history books? Think about it. We are definitely living in historic times, and maybe you can do something new that will make history. Next, we've got some new music from Truth.
He's strong, tough, handsome, one of a kind. Got an engine that can go for miles. Hard working, smooth talking, hand holding guy. Don't get him wrong, he never runs from a fight. Well, he's the type that don't mind me speaking my mind. Ain't got the magic touch that makes me smile. He's something special, picture perfect dream come true. They don't make them like they used to. They've got living proof. They don't make them like they used to. My Mr. Days continue. My heart is days a piece of cake when I'm in your arms. You make it right when everything's going wrong. I'll be your waitress, what's your order, babe? I got what you need. Do it for you because you do it for me. You make a woman feel she's a woman still. When taking the lead, you're something special. Picture perfect dream come true.
you dancing? I was dancing. That's like the perfect summer song. I want to get in the car, put the windows down, and just crank it up. So much fun. Thanks, Truth. Next, we've got Dr. Don, and I think Chuck's with him today, too.
Hey, MusiCity Kids, Dr. Don here with my friend Chuck, and I have a very serious health topic for you today. Because the summertime's coming and the temperatures are starting to rise, I talk about being out in the sun and skin damage and putting on your UVA, UVB sunscreen, protecting your eyes with protective eyewear too, but there's something that you really do need to be aware of. And like I said, this is serious. There's something called heat exhaustion. And this is, people get this all the time, and it is a heat-related illness that happens when you've been in high temperatures for too long. Now, what happens is your body will naturally sweat to help your body cool down. But when the environment gets humid and there's too much moisture in the air, it doesn't allow that sweat to evaporate to actually cool off your body. And that can be very serious, and your body temperature just rises and rises and rises. So it's something to be very aware of that can happen during these hotter months. And this is starting to happen now. So one of the things that you need to be sure of is that you're getting plenty of fluids and plenty of electrolytes. There are sports drinks that do have electrolytes. I don't like the ones that have a lot of sugar in them, and sometimes the artificial sugars are bad too. So but making sure that you got some electrolytes getting in your body is very important. Some of the signs of the heat exhaustion are confusion, fatigue, headaches, pale skin. Fainting is a very serious symptom that needs to be evaluated or be watched out for. There is something that you can see also. If you notice that your urine is a little bit of a darker color, it might mean that you're a little dehydrated, might need a little more water. But what are some of the things that you can do for this if you start feeling some of these symptoms? Get out of the heat. Get into a cool environment. Drink plenty of water. Remove unnecessary clothing to help your skin cool off. You can take a cold shower. Just put a cold cloth on your neck. It's just different things to help cool you down, because this can get worse, and there's something called heat stroke, and that can be very, very, very serious, and they can lead to each other. So we don't want that to happen. So I really just want to make sure that you guys are aware that there is something bad that can happen from being out in the heat too long, and there's nothing to be scared of. You just want to make sure that you are taking precautions. Just don't be out in the heat too long. If it's very humid outside and the temperatures are high, just make sure that you are being careful and staying cool and protected. So that's my health tip for the day. Back to you, Tamara.
Thanks, Dr. Don. I think that I was heat exhausted, or at least dehydrated, last week. My daughter caught it, and it was a good reminder to me to drink plenty of water and take breaks. I love to be outside in the summertime. I take walks almost every day, and I just love it. Can't get enough. But I've got to remember, drink that water. We got to stay safe. So here's another outside activity that we can do. I'll confess, I've only done this twice, I think, in my entire life, but it looks like so much fun. I might need to do it again. Check this out.
David Lowry here with TWRA's Outreach and Communications Division. Going to give you another little basic lesson, simple lesson for Fishing 101. For maybe, again, you don't have a mentor that can take you out and teach you fishing. We want to provide you with some instruction through our site telling how to get out and get the job done. I have in my hand a basic spin cast rod and reel. or some people call it a button rod, because you actually push this button down to cast the rod. When you push the button down, the line goes loose and it can cast out. So what you've got to learn is when to push the button and when to let go of the button. You've got to hold the button until you're ready to go forward with your cast. So as you can see, I'm going to get here. I'm going to do a simple sidearm motion, nothing fancy, not too far out, but you're going to have your arm back, and and a lot of times a lot of people use both hands, especially if they're trying to cast far. But if you're not comfortable with the rod reel, it's also good to have both hands so something doesn't slip. At any rate, come back, and as you go forward, when you get where you think you're going to target your bait, that's when you release the button. Simple as that. Turn the handle to engage the reel back in so the line just doesn't keep running off. And then you wait and see about if you're going to get a bite. Got a worm, looking for some bluegill. Also have a basic spinning rod and reel. A lot of people like to use these instead of a button rod, and it's kind of a step up. And then after that, people get into bait casters. Basic spinning rod and reel. It's got a bail on it, so you have to put your finger on the line. Now this one has a little lever here. I don't normally use those levers. I just grab the line with my finger, flip the bail over, so now the line is loose. And it's the same concept. You're going to cast forward, but at the right moment, you've got to let this finger loose so that the line will go out. I like that one because it casts a little further. Turn the handle or flip the bail over with your hand. Either way will get the bail closed. Now your line is set, and then wait for a bite.
That was so much fun. That's Tennessee Wildlife giving us some tips for fishing. I might just have to try that in the next few weeks. Last week I went canoeing down the Harpeth River here in Tennessee. It was amazing. I'm telling you, I love to be outside. I can't get enough. Our friend Jessica's outside today too, with something special for you to do with her. Get ready.
Hey everyone, it's Jessica, also known as Positively Jessica. I love to dance, and I've been a dancer for 15 years. So today, on this wonderful day, we're combined our summer day with dance and bring them together. It's gonna be a lot of fun, so join along. We're gonna do a combination that I like to call Mambo, Kick, Step. Let's do it. Okay, first things first is our Mambo step. It's super simple. You start with your right foot, you're gonna step out. Go right, then step your left, and then bring it together. Good. Try again. Go right, left, together. Nice. Now let's do our left foot. Left foot goes out, and then right foot, and bring it together. One more time on the left. Go left, right, together. Nice. Now let's add the right and the left and do them both together. Ready? Go right, left, in, left, right, in. One more time. Right, left, in, left, right, in. Good job. Now the next part in our combination is our kicks. First, we're gonna start with our hands on our hips, smiles on our lips, but we're gonna do our right foot is gonna kick. Ready? Here we go. Kick right, kick left. Nice. Try again. Go kick right, kick left. Good. Now we're gonna add on another step. You're gonna kick right, left, and then kick to the side. Nice. One more time. Go kick right, kick left, and to the side. Okay, now we got that. Let's add on one more kick. So it's gonna go kick right, kick left, kick to the side, and swing to the back. And bring it forward. Okay, last time, let's try it. Totally got this. Ready? Go kick right, kick left, swing to the side, and to the front. And now the last part in our combination is our poses. You're gonna pose, and pose, and pose, and pose. Freestyle your poses, do whatever you want to do, add some sass if you like. Okay. Okay, now let's take it from the top of our combination. We're gonna do it twice. The first time is gonna be slow. And the second time, we're gonna go with normal tempo. Here we go, we got this. Ready? Set, here we go. Mambo step. Left, right, step. Now kick, kick, right. Kick left, to the side, to the back, and to the front. And post, and post, and post, and post. Good job. Now back it up. Okay, normal tempo, here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Mambo step, kick right, kick left, kick to the side, to the back, and bring it to the front. And post, and post, and post, and post. You can do this combination with any song you like. It's a lot of fun. Thanks for joining in. Have a great day and dance your summer away.
You know what I would love to see? I would love to see your dance videos. Can you try that combination that Jessica just taught us with your favorite song and post it on our MusiCity Kids page? That would be fun. You know, we have been dealing with lots of things in our big world. The pandemic is still going on, and of course, all these conversations about racial injustices are happening. And in the midst of this, we're trying to figure out what school looks like this coming year. It's a lot. You know, we've got to be ready to see things in a new way. Our world has changed drastically this year, and things are never going to be quite like they were. Are you ready to embrace the new? Like I said before, sometimes people get scared with new things, but really, new things bring new opportunities. So I want you to think about that. Look for the positive. For example, you've gotten to spend a whole lot more time at home with your family, right? And you're learning to learn in a new way online. These are skills that you can carry with you for a lifetime and relationships that will be there for you always. So even though there's lots of tough stuff happening in this big world, remember, you are not alone. We're in this together. We will figure it out together. And new things are good, so let's embrace them. Next, Miss Lawanna's got a word for us. Let's see what she has to say.
Hey again, everybody. I am out for a little walk. It's a little rainy. It's a little drizzle, not much, but this is another way that I use to cheer myself up. When I'm having a difficult day, things aren't going my way, I make sure I get outside and I get a good walk in. Change of scenery, some fresh air, typically some sun, even though there's not a lot of sun today, but typically some sun. I've got my mask if I need it to keep others safe and me safe. And I just get out here and, you know, do a little stroll. Not too much traffic, I'm safe. But it's just a pretty neighborhood, and I like green grass and trees and all of that. Just really, you know, helps refresh you. And so, I don't know if that's something that you enjoy doing, but I would suggest if you're not having a not so great day, things aren't going your way, maybe if you got younger siblings that are kind of irritating you, or whatever the case is, I say get outside, get some fresh air, and that's gonna help you cheer up too. It has never failed. Whenever I feel like, you know, I'm just feeling so stuck inside and so trapped, a good walk will take care of it. Now, you are probably much more active than Miss Wanna, so you can do more than a walk. You can take a little jog, you can ride your bike for a little while. You know, you've got some options. So thanks for coming on my walk with me while I just kind of cheering myself up a little bit and getting my heart rate up. That's always good. And getting out here and just being active. That will always help you feel better. If you're having a down day and you're not feeling so great, I'm telling you, just getting outside and getting active will work wonders. And this is perfect. I actually like rainy days. And so when it's like a soft rainy day like this for me, I go out in it, you know. I might sit on my porch, or I might get my umbrella and take a quick little walk around my neighborhood. So that's what I'm doing today. And I just thought I'd bring you along with me. Just another way to, again, encourage yourself, a little pick-me-up when you're not feeling so great, okay? All right, so make sure you're getting outside and getting some activity, and that will bring a smile to your face and a lift in your heart. And I'll talk to you again soon.
So do you know what's going on behind all this stuff that we're seeing on our screens? Well, you can learn, and it starts with coding. Here's Steve with some tips. These are new skills for our new world.
Right, boys and girls, we're going to get started and we're going to be talking about Scratch coding. Have you ever wanted to learn how to code using Scratch coding? Well, it's very simple. You go to scratch.mit.edu, and then of course you're going to click where it says Start Creating. And once you click there, it will take you to the Scratch coding page. I'll introduce you to all the different aspects of that page. I'm going to close the tutorial window because you can actually watch tutorials on your own, and you should be able to get started quite easily after today's session. This over here is our sprite or our character. We could choose a different one if we wanted to. This over here is our backdrop or our stage. I'm going to quickly choose a boardwalk. I think that would be quite cool. Maybe we can drag our cat over there. And of course, on the left-hand side, we've got our blocks. These are our motion blocks. These are our looks blocks, sounds, events, controls, sensing. So all these buttons over here control the different types of blocks. And the way it works is you drag your block onto the screen. So I'm going to go to events, and I'm going to drag this one on when the space bar is pushed. And then I'm going to go to motion, and I'm going to choose change the x-axis by 10 units. And when I push the space bar, there we go, my character starts moving. But I think it would be more appropriate if I put the right arrow, and then when I push the right arrow, he moves to the right. So what I can do is I can duplicate this. Here we go. And I'm going to say, when you push the left arrow, instead of going to the right, I want you to go -10. Let's see what happens now. Left arrow, right arrow. So far, so good. And then, of course, if I want to get my character to move up and down, what do? I duplicate this block. I'm going to push the up arrow over there, but I can't use change X. I need the change by Y. So I'm going to move that back there, and this time I'm going to put change by Y. Notice how the blocks click together. And if I duplicate that again, I can put the down arrow and change my Y by -10. And now when I push the up arrow, my character can fly up, can come down, can move left and right. And of course, if you are creating a game, then what you will notice is that this is a fabulous way to move your character around the board. I want you to start dreaming ideas of how you could create your very own game using scratch.mit.edu. And back to you, Tamara. Right, boys and girls, we're going to get started.
Thank you, friends, to check this out. You've got to learn how to code. It's like the language for our new world. It will serve you well, I'm telling you. So check it out. Scratch.mit.edu. Good stuff. Next is Dr. E.
Hey, Tamara and friends. Well, we did something new this week in my family, and the something new that happened in my family was that my niece and nephew got to move from sitting in the back seat of the car to sitting now on the front seat of the car in the passenger side. And that's a really big deal in my family because it means that my niece and nephew are now tall enough, and that they're now old enough, and that they're now big enough to no longer just have to sit in the back seat of the car, but now they can enjoy the front seat of the car as well. And so that's a really big deal, and it reminds me of an anthropologist by the name of Arnold van Gennep. And Van Gennep, he went all over the world looking at different cultural groups. And what he recognized in these groups was that all of these groups have different ways of being able to mark moving from an old stage of life to a new stage of life. And that when we move from one stage of life to a new stage of life, oftentimes we have a celebration that we recognize or acknowledge that the person has moved from an old stage of life to a new stage of life. And so we have lots of rites of passage, and I'm sure there are probably rites of passages that you have participated in or that you're looking forward to. And so what are some of those new stages of life and those celebrations that you're looking forward to? Well, they include things like moving from one grade to another grade, from moving from third grade to fourth grade, or from fifth grade to sixth grade. They include things like moving from elementary school to moving to middle school, or from middle school to high school. For you, you might be looking forward to, at some point in time, you're going to graduate from high school and you're going to have a graduation ceremony. And so all of those are what we call rites of passage. And Van Gennep recognized that those rites of passage are really important because they help us to be able to acknowledge and recognize the fact that we move from one stage of life to a new stage of life. And that when we move from an old stage of life to a new stage of life, not only do we see ourselves differently, but the people around us see us differently as well. And so when we have our bar mitzvahs, or we have our quinceañeras, or we likewise have our rites of passage ceremonies, they mean that we are no longer oftentimes kids anymore, but that instead we're being now recognized by our communities and by our families as being adults or being up and coming young people, people who can take responsibility not only for themselves, but also take responsibility and to make the world a better place. And so those rites of passage are really important. And so anytime we do something new and we move from one stage of life to a new stage of life, it's something worth celebrating. And it's something worth celebrating because it means that we're continuing to grow and we're continuing to develop. And when we continue to grow and we continue to develop, that's a wonderful thing. And so this week, I want you to think about what's something new that's happened in your life, something new, a new stage of life that you're looking forward to. And if you haven't already celebrated it, think about celebrating it. And likewise, ask the people around you what it means for you to move from this old stage to this new stage. And when we do that, and when we celebrate that we're growing, that's a wonderful way of being able to share love in a big world. And so until next time, do something new and keep growing. See you later.
Dr. E gave me a great idea. You know what we need? We need a rite of passage because our whole world has gone through a change. So we need to celebrate this in some way. I know people are very sad thinking about, oh, things aren't the way they were. But what if it's just time to celebrate the new? What could we do? How could we celebrate? I want to hear your ideas. Put them in the chat. And maybe we can figure out how to have a big party for this new time that we're living in. Because it's not going away. We got to just figure it out together. All right, here's Webster.
Hello, friends. Webster here, just looking through some of my old episodes of my talk show. You know, one of my most interesting guests was definitely Miss Theta. She is a yoga instructor. I had never done yoga before, but I thought it would be great to try something new. Have you ever thought about doing something new? Here, check this out. Hello, friends. Webster here with today's Word from the Pod Squad.
How are you?
I'm great. What is all that you brought?
Well, these are tools of my trade. I use these in my yoga practice to help people achieve peacefulness. Much like this set is very peaceful and peaceful.
Well, I do feel pretty good.
Have you had your cleansing breaths this morning?
I don't know what those are.
Do you want to try?
Oh.
Let's take some cleansing breaths right now.
That?
Breathe in deeply through your nose. Let it out. Do you feel peaceful?
I felt something.
How about this?
Okay.
You go change into an outfit that you would feel comfortable and peaceful in.
Okay.
No shoes.
Okay.
And I'll take you through some yoga exercises.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
All right, I just want you
a cool
to.
ball.
All right, lay on the ball here. Yes,
All
come
right.
on up. Yes, and we're just going to stretch.
Okay. All right.
Take some good cleansing breaths. We're going to stretch out those muscles. Are you beginning to feel this peacefulness?
Well.
Yes. Very nice. Stretch those muscles.
Whoa.
Yes. Breathe into peace.
Okay.
Oh, you feeling it?
I'm actually feeling a little sick.
Oh, that's not peaceful. All right. All right. Namaste. Namaste.
I must stay?
But this isn't the only way that you can be peaceful. It's just one of the ways why you can take a walk. You can sit underneath a tree and just listen to the birds. You know, our society's not very quiet anymore, Webster.
Maybe you could talk with someone.
You can. That can be peaceful. You can also count backwards from 10. That makes me peaceful. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready to try this again? After we get through with this, we're going to try the downward facing dog.
Wait, my dog Rusty does that.
That is similar, but not the same.
Oh,
So
okay.
let's get back up
All right,
here
okay.
on the ball. Let's really grip it there.
Okay, I got it. Okay.
And breathe. Breathe in as you stretch.
Yeah.
Those wonderful thoughts of peacefulness surging through. Shabumi.
What?
Namaste. Yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. It's a pretty big ball.
Are you feeling it?
Well.
Yeah, you're feeling it.
I think I am. I'm feeling.
Oh, good. You're feeling the peace. Yes.
Oh no, wait. No, it's a cramp. Ow. Ow.
No. The words
Ow. Ow. Yeah, yoga hurts. Ow.
Oh, that was funny. That was really funny. Thanks, Webster. Yes, sometimes trying something new really does stretch us, but it's good for us. It helps us grow. All right, here's some closing thoughts from Love in a Big World.
Some people go day to day without, come to school longing to encounter. It's world changing. Like helping a friend on a bad day or giving your last slice of pizza away to someone who really wants it. It brightens their day.
It's that shake my head, oh wow feeling you get when the underdog wins. The feeling of bliss you feel when you face your fears. The thankfulness that brings your mom to tears. It's what the world needs now. Inspirational, challenging.
It's the smile on your teacher's face when the whole class wins because they've chosen to do what's right. It changes your family, shapes community. It's love in a big world.
All right, so get out there and try something new today. You are able because you think you are able. That's what Virgil said. So get out there and try something new. Push your limits, explore, be adventurous. I know, being willing to try something new takes a lot of courage, facing your fears. It also requires a great deal of perseverance, sticking to it, not giving up. We'd love to hear your stories about what you tried new today. So take a picture, add to the chat, or send us a video. Let us know what you're doing new. We'd love to hear from you. Remember, all of us here at MusiCity Kids are rooting for you. We love you. We're here for you. Make it a great day. We'll see you next week.